Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's 1 million by 1 million strategy roundtable for entrepreneurs. 1M, as you know, is the first and only global virtual accelerator in the world for technology startups. Our mission is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million and beyond in annual revenue. In support of that mission, we do these free mentoring roundtables week after week after week. This is the 624th session. And the event is being recorded. All recordings are available on our YouTube channel, 1M1M Roundtables. And on Twitter, we're at 1M1M and at Romana. These are the call-in instructions. You can also use the computer audio to speak, audio and video. So we are going to skip through the first entrepreneur who was going to present today because he has a medical emergency. And we're going to go to Takudzwa. Did I say that right?
Yeah, indeed, you said it right. Hello, Maureen. Hello, Samran.
Sramana.
Sramana. Okay, thank you
There
for
you
the
go.
correction.
All right.
Firstly, I want to thank you for giving us this opportunity.
My pleasure, indeed.
Okay. So my name is Takudzwa Cinofunga. I guess Elias will be easier for you.
Yes, sure.
Elias. I am from Harare, Zimbabwe. I am 20. I'm a technical founder of a startup called Zambezi Tech Vanguard. Next slide. Thank you. So Zambezi Tech Vanguard is a startup in Africa that is purely based in Harare for now, and it's aiming to improve and help Africa adopt artificial intelligence. As you know, we're in this time of artificial intelligence. So I was sitting down with my friends and we were planning on how we were going to help Africa adopt AI. So we realized that the first point of call in the adoption of artificial intelligence is to train actually the tech talent and to train the people who are going to help Africa adopt the technology. So
And
Zambezi
how do you define the people who are going to help Africa? Are you talking about the programmers, the technologists? What are you thinking?
yeah, okay. The vision of the company is to actually help people become programmers, you might say, but for us we call them tech people. As you know,
Okay, so you
Africa.
want to teach AI programming through your
No.
Zambezi Tech Vanguard? No.
Yeah, we are going to teach AI programming and other technologies because technology all works together they work together. AI technology, web development and stuff.
Okay.
As you know, Africa is the continent with the youngest youth population in the world, I think, with over 400 million youth under the age of 35 years old.
Elias, I have a few questions. First and foremost, you should never put so much text and such small font text because it's very hard to read, and you kind of waste an opportunity to make the slides useful. But I want to understand, what is your vision really? Are you familiar with these platforms like Udemy and Coursera and edX and all these?
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
You're familiar with them. So all of them have lots of AI, machine learning kinds of programming courses. So how is what you propose to do going to be different from those platforms? Because they're big.
Yeah, they're big. Let me give you sort of a background of me. So I'm a tech founder and I'm a self-taught software engineer and also a data scientist.
Okay.
But it's not really easy and to use Udemy, edX in Africa, especially in Africa. People have
Why is that?
a lot of people don't have access to laptops, they don't have access to the internet, and they don't even have access to electricity. So us as an organization, we don't want to only do education online, but we want to provide both the online part of the education and also the physical classes. So we hope
So
to establish tech
how are
hubs
they
and
going to how are they going to learn to program without a laptop or some kind of a computer environment?
yeah, we hope to establish tech hubs across Africa.
So you will have these labs with computers and they will come and work on your computers.
Yeah, exactly. Plus,
And
okay, and the other thing is I'm keen on environment. I believe that for you to be able to, I believe in online education, yes, but I believe that people should be in an environment where they share the same vision. So that's why I actually vouch for this traditional type of doing of learning, where they come to the campus and they are together. Where there are people who share the same vision and the same goal, and they're in an environment where they can learn together and share ideas and visions.
what content are you going to teach on the basis of?
Yeah, we're going to introduce to people a lot of technologies actually, because we want to train
But
tech talent in Africa.
education requires content.
Yeah.
Right? You need lectures, you need programming exercises, and all kinds of things that you have to take people through to teach them programming. Are you going to
Mhm.
reinvent the wheel, and are you going to come up with your own content, or are you going to use existing content from these bigger platforms like the Udemy's? Let's say, I think that what you're describing is an environment very similar to Khan Academy, for instance, for the schools, right?
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Children go to school, but in the schools, they can use Khan Academy. They can use Khan Academy as homework, but their teachers are teaching using the Khan Academy content.
Mhm.
Khan Academy content is really good quality content.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
So
actually hearing of that now. So our vision actually is to get a group of educators or instructors. I'm a technical founder and also my co-founder is a technical founder. So since last year, we've been trying to teach people Python programming, web development, Android development, and we've actually been doing it online and also physical classes. So now we're in the process of getting this team together of educators, software
I see.
programmers, artificial intelligence engineers from Zimbabwe and also from across the world. Because we want to provide people with this education that they're going to be having instructors from maybe the United States who actually be telling them
I
what's
think
happening in the
I
US
think
and instructors in
I think
Zimbabwe.
you are reinventing the wheel at a level that is unnecessary.
Hmm. Okay.
If I were you and if I wanted to do this, I would use existing platforms. I would use the Udemy's and I would use the Coursera's and I would use all these platform edX, for example. I would use those platforms, use their content, and maybe you need to create these hubs where people come and teach. But I think you want your instructors, local instructors, to be teaching on the basis of content that is already available and that is high quality validated content. And you don't need instructors from America. You want instructors on the ground in Zimbabwe
Hmm.
or in Africa. But
Hmm.
they need to be teaching using content that is, world-class content, that is validated content, that is good content that is available through these platforms, and your teachers can teach using those already available contents on various platforms.
Okay, but there's this problem actually when it comes to using these courses on Udemy or Coursera. The content, yes, is there, but the syllabuses they're not really conducive for someone who's starting to learn. But if you say that the teachers will be the ones helping the students to go through the material, yes, I think that makes sense actually. Thank you.
Yeah, but in any teacher anywhere would
Hmm.
normally teach using a textbook, right?
Yeah.
Today, online learning, the digital material content is the equivalent of the textbook. So if you use a Coursera or a Udemy or edX or whatever content as the supporting material based on which teachers teach, it's a perfect combination. There's no
Yeah.
need to reinvent the wheel. You should not invest time, energy, or money on building your own content. That would be a mistake.
Okay, building our own content would be a mistake, yes, in terms of capital intensive and stuff.
Yeah.
But we have, I think that's why people have boot camps. Boot camps are more expensive than Coursera and Udemy, but people are still going and doing those boot camps for 15,000 in the US. Why? Because the information that is provided on Udemy and Coursera is really not adequate when you want to
Yeah, but a
learn.
boot camp is different.
No, it's the same thing that we want to do. There'll be sort of boot camps, 4 months boot camps, 6 months boot camps, educating people on the ground and online.
Okay.
But I hear what you're saying. I think that would be actually that can help us to grow until we get to that capacity of being able to create our own
I think
content.
I think creating your own content is expensive, and
Yeah.
getting that to a level of quality where you can really do something scalable is going to be difficult.
Okay. Okay. Thank you for
You
the
know,
advice.
people who know AI, for instance, who can teach AI are not going to teach your students. They're going to go make money. You will not be able to hire instructors who are high caliber AI professionals. They're not going to spend time teaching your students. They're going to go program and make money, because this is a skill highly in demand. If you're really good, you can make a lot of money programming. You're not going to go and teach. You would never be able to afford really high caliber teachers. So you have to mitigate the lack of really high caliber teachers by using high caliber content which mediocre teachers can teach with. You will only be able to recruit mediocre teachers. Do not assume you will be able to recruit very high caliber AI professionals as teachers. That is outside of your budget. You will not be
Mm-hmm.
able to afford it. So the
Mm-hmm.
best you can do is kind of attract mediocre, sub-mediocre people who
Mm-hmm.
will need world-class content to make the learning experience reasonable. This is the problem. You will not be able to hire good instructors. That's the problem. You have to keep that in mind.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a big problem actually. Thank you for the advice. Okay,
Yeah?
so can you please go to the previous slide?
Previous slide. Okay,
Yeah, the
sure.
previous slide. Yeah. So we continue. So depending on whether you're going to use content or existing content, our vision is to help empower 10,000 students in the next 5 years. So far, we've done 250 people, which we have now trained to be able to program and develop software and develop applications. But our vision for the next 5 years is to help empower 10,000 students. And also the other side of the business is the students which we are going to train. We're going to have a child company of the company that is going to help businesses adopt AI technology, like doing AI consulting and technology consulting. So that is going to be another part of the business that is going to bring revenue to the
It's
company.
very hard to do too many businesses. It's hard enough to do one business. If you're trying to do too many businesses, none of them are going to be very successful, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to do a consulting business, AI consulting business, do an AI consulting business. If you want to do an AI training business, do an AI training business. Don't try to do both. It will be hard to do both. Because one of the primary things you're operating with is a scarcity of highly trained people. So if you want to do consulting, you need highly trained people on your staff. Recruiting that is going to be difficult
Yeah,
because
that's
it's
why my
expensive. Those people are expensive.
okay. That's why my idea was we train the talent and we hire the talent.
Yeah, but it's going to be expensive. If they're
Okay.
good, they're going to have offers to go elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
right? It's a
Yeah, they're
scarce
gone.
resource. Good, really good. AI skills is a scarce resource, and people are trying to get good. People are trying to learn, people are trying to get good, people are, so the ones who are going to be good are going to be in high demand. So, I mean, and my point is, let's say you have this point here, you want to help corporations for reskilling. So if you go to a corporation and say, we will train your employees in AI skills, great. You can go and train AI, people in AI skills. That's wonderful, but you can't hire those people. Then the corporate client is going to boot you out because you're basically violating, you can't tell people that I'm going to train your employees and I'm going to hire them away from you. Why would they want that? But I like the idea of you're working with corporations on reskilling. I think that is probably the best positioning for you, where you go to corporations and say, we will, tell us how many and tell us who, and you pay for it. We will do the reskilling and we will train them in AI. Then you can use Udemy or Coursera or whatever as kind of like, the content around which you train. You have your trainers who kind of work with people. It's not people who don't have machines and laptops and all that whom you want to train. You want to train people of whom you can make money. The reason I like the corporations idea is that corporations have money, they can pay you. But then that begs the question is that why wouldn't the corporations go directly and get their employees to work with Udemy and use Udemy content or Coursera content or edX content?
When it comes to technical skills, people make it look like it's easy to learn coding online or on Udemy, but it's really hard. I tell you, I have a lot of friends here who have tried it. They've all gave up. You
Okay.
need someone who knows
Test
it.
the hypothesis. Test the hypothesis. Go to a corporation or few corporations and see if they're willing to hire you to teach their students or their employees coding, Python programming, and so on. Test the hypothesis.
Okay, the idea around corporations was to do you train them on the technology that they need
Right?
at that corporation. Yeah. You study their processes and you tell them you can apply artificial intelligence at this point, in that point. And you train the employees according
But
to the requirements of the corporation.
pick something and do something that's where you can make money. The thing that I don't like about your idea of training people who have no resources, who don't have machines, who don't have computers, who don't have internet connection, is that these are people who don't have any budget to pay you either. So if you
That's,
try to build a business selling to people who can't afford to pay anything, that generally is a bad business.
that's true.
So what I like about corporations is corporations can pay, and corporations do have corporate training needs and reskilling needs and so forth. So if you go to corporations and if you can convince them to hire you to train their staff, that's okay.
Okay.
That's a decent business. So let's look at your questions. How to reach and establish strategic partnerships with other tech education platforms or academies around the world online for exchange of talent. You will not be able to. I just told you what to do. I just told you that you use the content from these platforms, the EdTech companies like the Udemys and the Courseras. You have your trainers, you use their content and teach on the basis of that content. And you
Okay.
figure out how that fits into your business model.
Okay, thank you.
And you have, with what she has seen so far, advice and views on this initiative. I want to know what might cause it to fail. Yeah, I just told you. I just gave you some feedback. That's what you were
Yeah, you
looking
gave
for, right?
me the one on the buying power of the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll be
Thank you.
happy to answer more questions. Let me take care of Nick, and then if you hang around, I will explain how to use 1 million by 1 million also and take more questions.
Okay, I'm hanging around. I want to see.
Okay.
Thank you. Okay.
Wibly. Nick, please unmute your line.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Ready. All right. So, hi everybody. My name is Nick Farrenkopf, and I'm the founder and CEO of Wibly, an EdTech learning platform. So, a lot of the intent behind this company originated from my time as a private tutor. So, for over 6 years, I taught math and sciences to high school and early college students using a range of different learning resources. So, some of these resources were easily accessible and better at transferring knowledge, while others were either harder to find or full of errors. So these experiences as an avid teacher and lifelong learner have led me to create Wibly, the online library of curated knowledge with a streamlined discovery experience. Okay, so let's go back one more. Yeah, problem. Okay, so one of the main problems that Wibly deals with is in misinformation. With the rise of bots, fake accounts, and intentionally malicious content, true knowledge is getting lost or becoming increasingly inaccessible. Finding sources of high quality organized information can be time consuming in its own right, but having to do that while filtering through a sea of misinformation is an unnecessarily laborious task. Combine that with the sharp rise of community and AI generated content, and exploring new information as a self driven learner becomes excessively daunting. Next. So, Wibly is a learning platform that comes in two main parts. We got the knowledge and the tool. So at its core, Wibly is a massive online library for verified information. Now, this expansive knowledge base contains a curated selection of content saved in a concept-driven and beginner-friendly format. Information is viewed through the interactive Wibly knowledge trees, colorful designs that help to make topics and content more accessible by visually breaking things down into their discrete collective parts. This is all combined together to formulate the Wibly experience, an online knowledge resource where you can browse with ease and source with confidence. Next. So Wibly is a series of web and mobile applications that run on a freemium business model. Accounts start out free, but users can purchase a variety of subscriptions that improve the capabilities of their account. So some of these enhancements include increasing the scale of a user's personal knowledge tree or enabling additional networking features for greater connectivity. The Wibly product also comes with some licensing capabilities, allowing any group to manage their own content on their own network and share with a select set of people. Next. Wibly is like a cross between an edtech platform and a social media. So early phases are focused on this simplified learning experience for educators and students, so initially targeting US colleges and universities. The shareable MVP phase is where Wibly expands this topic coverage as for an extension as a knowledge-focused social network. And then later phases incorporate translated datasets that allow Wibly to reach a more global audience. Next. The user journey is ultimately split into two main paths. Path of the scholar represents the content creators, while path of the learner represents the content consumers. So Wibly acts as the bridge between these two groups, taking the knowledge documented by scholars, aggregating across multiple topics and sources, and then providing a curated selection of quality content for learners to explore.
Is this user-generated content?
Yes. So Wibly is not creating its own content, it's using content that's already existing, building a kind of newer way to organize.
Who's doing the curation? Are the users doing the curation?
So it's a combination of kind of Wibly librarians and then the educators, the scholar side. So they'll be arranging the information that they're already using, kind of teaching in their classrooms. Wibly knowledge trees provide an alternative way to kind of show and give that information to the student for them to explore it at a more higher level. Let's go back to the value proposition. So Wibly is collective wisdom. It's the consolidation of insight across a range of experienced professionals. So this comprehensive topic-based collection gives learners a more holistic understanding of the knowledge while providing additional scholarly resources for further exploration and discovery. That content is then enriched further through Wibly's high-impact visualizations. So Wibly knowledge trees automate how the brain absorbs information, allowing scholars to transfer more knowledge to learners in less time. Next. So one notable milestone is that Wibly recently presented at the Gallery of Innovation during EdTech Week. So this was a conference of EdTech individuals from around the world that gathered to talk about the current state of education. So Wibly had a booth where it got to present and connect with teachers, entrepreneurs, and advisors, many of whom were very excited about Wibly's future. Next. So there are three main leaders that have been driving Wibly forward so far. In addition to me, the CEO and founder, Wibly also has Brian Laura, the CTO, who has had many successful SaaS business ventures. And then Anna Koskanaris as the CMO, who's got a range of experience across management, sales, and teaching. So together, we set the initial foundation for a team that will build and manage a standard-defining knowledge product offering. Next. Much like how you search Google to find websites, YouTube to find videos, or Quora to find questions, you can search Wibly to find knowledge.
So, Nick, my main problem with what you're presenting is it's very generic and it's very 30,000-foot level. So what's going to be in the MVP? What subject are we talking about? Like building a curated encyclopedia is not so easy. It's an immensely time-consuming affair. So what is minimum viable product? What is the definition of a minimum viable product here?
Okay, so the MVP for Wibly is going to be focused on kind of institutional education. So it's working with educators to document the knowledge that they're already transferring to their students, and then cultivating some of that in like a core Wibly library, which other students are free to explore. So a lot of the
what subject? I mean, you can't say knowledge is it's a very large concept. It's a very broad concept. What are we talking about? What language? What source? What subject? What topic? What knowledge are we talking about?
Okay.
And who's the producer and who is the consumer?
Okay, so early phases are going to be focused more on kind of STEM information. So I've been talking a lot about kind of universal knowledge that is the same across, regardless of who you are. So this focuses a lot on math and sciences and technology, kind of arranging that info at a higher level.
And why do you need that? I mean, math and science and technology, Khan Academy is the million-pound gorilla. What are you going to provide that is going to be so compelling that you can compete with Khan Academy?
So Wibly is all about the main competitive differences between Wibly and some of these other educational institutions is the way that the information is saved on the back end and then displayed in the front end. So Wibly is all about building knowledge graphs that show how all of the concepts are related to one another at a higher level so that the learner gets a more holistic view up front and that they can understand kind of how those all tiny little details fit together. So Wibly is all about showing that.
This is hard to communicate, you know? People don't, if you can't communicate to people why they're buying something, why they're subscribing to something, why they're using something, they're not going to use it. You know? People know that, okay, you know, Khan Academy, that's where you go to learn all these different, you know, math and science and whatever. You know, you're having difficulty with permutations and combinations. You're having difficulty with, you know, algebra, something. You're having difficulty with solving differential equations. You can go get those tutorials from Khan Academy, and it's the relevance and the relevance of Khan Academy is very well positioned. It's not clear to me where Wibly fits in all this. Like, you know, instead of going, if I'm a learner in STEM in whatever grade it is, why would I not go to Khan Academy and come to Wibly? And under it, what is the use case that Khan Academy does not address, but you address that I'm looking for?
Okay.
Am I looking to learn how all these things relate with one another? Is that something that is going to bring me to look for Wibly? Because that's a problem. If it doesn't, you know, any kind of consumer product, unless there's a good reason, unless there's a compelling reason to bring people onto your website, getting millions of users is an incredibly difficult thing to do. You just showed me a bunch of market size numbers and you're going to get so many users. Where was that? There was a slide on that. Here we go.
Yeah.
You want 5 million users to do a pilot. Where are 5 million users going to come from? How are you going to recruit 5 million users? Why would they come to you in search of what? And the same, 12 million users for an MVP. Do you know what it takes to get 500 users? 5 million users is a daunting task, a very expensive task to get 5 million users to come and do anything. So, the reason I'm not jumping up and down in, being thrilled about this idea is that it's not clear to me if this website is going to get any traffic and what needs to be on this website for this website to get traffic. And how do you get that traffic? Is it going to be SEO traffic? But your content is all elsewhere. You're basically providing a roadmap into other people's content. So SEO is not going to capture that traffic. It's not going to harness traffic. Search engine optimization is not how you're going to get the traffic. So how are you going to get the traffic?
So a lot of the intent is to work with universities and colleges, some of these higher ed institutions that are already teaching this institutional knowledge. The Wibly framework gives it an alternative way to represent that information and how it's all related.
Have you talked to any higher education or any kind of educational institution to validate this assumption?
Institutions, no, but I did present at the EdTech week where I got to connect with a bunch of teachers. So a lot of people were excited for the future of Wibly and how kind of organizing that information at a higher level for a student to kind of make those relationships on the screen and then fill them in their head. So that was where I feel I got a lot of validation in the idea. It's connecting
how many teachers resonated with this idea?
So I spoke with 3, and
that is not a statistically significant number for a consumer product. If your go-to-market strategy is going to be through teachers, you need to interview hundreds of teachers and get a real deep feel for what is it that you need to build that they are going to have their students subscribe to with money. And if people are not willing to pay, there is no business. Free is not a business model.
Yeah.
So you have to talk to hundreds of teachers, validate, understand what they want to see in your product and how much are they willing to get their students to subscribe to. Like if you can get, 100 teachers, bring in, let's say 50 students each, that's a starting point. That's 5,000 students. You get a sense of like, what is it that they're looking for? They pay a little bit of subscription fee. That's the beginning of something. But I don't know what that thing is. Neither do you. You need to go understand what that thing is that you need to build.
Okay.
You have a hypothesis. You have a vision, but you need to go talk to these teachers and really flesh that out to see what should your MVP contain.
Okay, so that is a lot of feedback that I got when presenting at EdTech Week. So I do have a Wibly prototype that I was using to showcase kind of the key features and design components of organizing information as this kind of knowledge graph framework. So there was a lot of feedback and what sort of things those teachers would want to see, whether it's verifiable references or kind of how to add that organization or add that information and organize it cleanly. So there are, say, enhancements to the prototype that I am looking to add to kind of provide those features that the teachers have expressed interest in.
And what did they say about payment? What is your business model?
Yeah, so we did not speak a whole lot about the payment. I did mention that it was a subscription fee. I think early phases are going to be more heavily focused around that data generation. So teachers that generate data for the Wibly library get free access of the Wibly tool in the early stages. In later stages, that changes where the larger the information that you're trying to share, the kind of higher the subscription costs.
Yeah, but it's a bit vague. Flesh it out. Get deep into the details. It's it's a starting point. You're starting out. It's fine. All ventures start at a kind of nebulous level and start getting fleshed out as you go along. So I'm not discouraging you. I'm just saying that try to get down from the 30,000 level to the very hands-on level where you can surround yourself with hundreds of teachers who are going to give you feedback on how they want to use this thing, how they want to bring in their students, and how are you going to make money of this venture. That's where I would focus, is that really try to get, and don't give a lot of stuff for free. I think at this point of the evolution of the internet, we all know that having a lot of free stuff is useless. It doesn't help you build businesses. So you have to monetize, and you have to monetize early and well so that you can bootstrap your venture with revenues. So try to get enough feedback from the teachers to understand what is it they are willing to recommend to their students to subscribe to, and what is the amount of subscription that will hold in that context. Make sense?
Okay, yeah, it's good advice. Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. All right, folks. As you can see, the way I work with entrepreneurs is very serious, very kind of concrete stuff. If you like this approach, please spread the word, and by all means, refer 1M1M to your friends and colleagues. All resources are at 1M1M.com. So you can start with reading our blog, which is free. It's very rich. Both of you have presented EdTech Ventures. We have a section on online education, tons and tons of material. You can start, learning that way. There's also the Entrepreneur Journeys book series. This is a series of books that are case study based. You can learn different topics there. These roundtables happen every week. You can pitch once, but you can come and attend as many times as you want. Hundreds of thousands of people have come to these sessions. Our full acceleration program is 1M1M Premium, and that's for extensive methodology guidance, access to our full curriculum for technology entrepreneurship. We help you with business development. We help you. You can come and talk to me on a weekly basis at our private roundtables that are members only. We help you with financing. We also help you, you can connect into our network, whether it's business development, media analysts, etc. I recommend there's a self-assessment tool on our website that is free. I recommend that whatever idea that you're working with, please try to run it through the self-assessment and see if you can answer these questions. These are the due diligence questions VCs would ask you. There is also a free bootstrapping course pinned to the top of our blog. It's less than 1 hour long. I want you to go do that course because you will learn a lot about how the industry operates and what you need to do to navigate, at least at a very basic level. We have a ton of learning material on Udemy. We have almost 75 courses, I think, on Udemy right now. You're welcome to learn from Udemy as well. It's very inexpensive, very easily accessible. Coupons are available on our website. If you look for November Udemy coupons on our website, you'll be able to access the coupons. Our full curriculum is also accessible on our website as 1M1M Basic on a subscription basis, $99 a month. And, as I said, our full acceleration program is $1,000 a year. So go dig around, look at the website, what to expect from premium, what to expect from basic, video FAQs. The curriculum is described in a lot of detail. It's all case study based. You're learning from people who have done it before, and we really have a who's who of the tech entrepreneurship world who have, you know, given us their case studies, contributed their case studies, and that's what you learn from. And it's an incredibly effective method of learning from people who have done it before. So very powerful, very inspiring, very interesting. If you're coming to 1M in search of funding, please go through the investor introduction section of our website to learn more about that. Our philosophy is do not go to investors as beggars, go as kings. And the mantra is, you know, bootstrap first, raise money later. So if you bootstrap first, get validation, etc., that's when investors start to be interested in your venture. That's it. We have 2 more roundtables in November and 2 more in December. So if you're looking for a slot, please go to the free roundtable, free public roundtable page on the website, register for one of these slots, and Maureen will make sure you have an opportunity to talk to me. At this point, we are open for Q&A. You're very welcome to either dial in through the numbers on the screen, or you can also let us know that you want to speak, and Maureen will switch you to panelist, and you can talk through the computer audio as well. Maureen, I think there is Smriti Sengupta who wants to talk. You can put her on as a panelist. Meanwhile, if you have questions about the program, your contact is Irina Patterson. Send her an email. She will be happy to get on WhatsApp, phone, Skype, whatever you want, or email, and you can dialogue with her, ask your questions, and so on. Smriti, you want to talk?
Yes, thank you. Can I talk now?
Yes, of course. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, I'm not presenting anything today. So I was introduced to you by one of my colleague and friend in California. So I was enjoying your session, very insightful, and I would introduce myself. So I'm a social entrepreneur, founder and CEO of Destiny Reflection, organization based in Kolkata, India. And I'm working on the intersection of economic stimulation and business driven solutions, mostly for the victims of crime or trafficking. And part of my work is also encouraging students and young professionals to opt into business for social good. And I will tell a little bit about my business. If I'm just let me know if I'm taking too much of time, then I can show.
Okay, please keep going. No problem. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so my business mission is economic inclusion for the victims of crime, and we are a 15-year-old social enterprise. And our business mission is aligned with UN SDG goal, which is target 8.7, which is eradicating forced labor, ending modern slavery, human trafficking, and eliminating child labor, recruitment of child soldiers by 2025. And as a business, we were able to create a global market along with global awareness of the issue we are working on through our products, which are made by the survivors.
Is it a for-profit or a non-profit?
Yeah, so it's a hybrid model. We have one part is non-profit, another is for-profit, and most of the profit goes for the to the non-profit also. So we were able to create global awareness of the issue through our product and message, and the achievable
What is a
impact.
for-profit business?
For-profit business is making accessories, which is mostly we train and give employment to the survivors of the high-risk young women.
And what kind of products do you sell?
Yeah, so it is we use a lot of eco-friendly fabrics like organic cotton, recycled saris. We make yoga mat bags, basically, which is popular in the United Kingdom, and then basically corporate gift items.
And how big is your for-profit business? What kind of revenues do you generate?
Yeah, so this is what I was coming to. So we definitely we were selling the product and getting revenue, paying the women who work for, and the impact was sustainable income for the crime victims. We found market viability mostly abroad, not in India too much. And now our next step is to scale and also revive our business from which slowed down post-COVID.
Okay.
So this is what I wanted to say. And this is the first time I'm listening to your...
Yeah, sure. So, are you aware that I have a talk tomorrow at the Ramakrishna Mission Gold Park Cultural Institute?
Yeah, okay. So you are in Kolkata right now?
I
Yeah,
am in
that's...
Kolkata right now.
Yeah, can I make it there? What I have to do?
Come to the talk. It's a free talk at the Gold Park Ramakrishna Mission
Oh,
Institute of Culture.
thanks. Tomorrow, right? Where do I get to know more, like the time, etc.?
Maureen can give it to you right now. Maureen, can you give her the link?
I don't know, my video is off. I can't make myself visible.
That's okay. You can
Okay.
just pick up. Maureen is going to give you the link in the public chat here. So actually, I have it too. I was just giving it to somebody. See, look at there you go, the link. Both of us have given you the link in the public chat. You see it?
Okay. Yeah, I will copy it. Okay.
All the information is there.
Okay, thank you. That is
You're welcome.
really a good opportunity, and I'm excited to see you.
Great. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Anybody else? I see a lot of people in the room. Does anybody else want to speak? Do you want Maureen to turn you into a panelist so you can speak through your computer audio, or you want to dial in? Whatever is fine. Anybody? Nick, Elias, do either of you have any other questions?
I don't really have a question. I just want to thank you for the opportunity and time.
You're very welcome. I'm very, very, very happy to see that we are seeing, recently we're seeing a lot more people coming from Africa. India has been a very big geography for us. We always see people coming from India, but recently we're seeing a lot of people coming from Africa, and I'm really thrilled to see that activity in Africa. It's great.
Okay.
No questions on my end either. It was great to pitch. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. All right. Well, I will maybe see you guys next week, and good luck with making lots of progress with your work, and see you soon. Bye.
Okay, bye. Thank you.
Bye.